M0FXB, just thought I'd have a little comparison video again for the 705 and the 7300. So let's turn down the 7300, turn up the 705. So you can see the size difference. Turn it on its side. Like so. Like so.
Got other friends who are obviously into the hobby and stuff like that, and but don't take too much notice of what they're up to. I just get what I get out of it, and
we turn it round, right? So you can see the back. Got the ICOM 51 battery there, which actually works really well. I do have a spare one.
Especially when I'm up at the girlfriend's house as well, obviously she expects me to spend time up there to see her sort of thing. So
right.
I'm on the radio
so
all evening, so I can't sort of sit there.
What's the difference between these two radios? Well, the screen is identical size. I don't know if that shows in the video. They're both HF and 6 meters. So we just tap the 705, tap 40 meters. Now there's no HF antenna on this at the moment, but obviously it does do it. We can match the frequencies there. The 705 does not have a tuner and is a 10 watt radio, but on a battery it's a 5 watt radio. The screen, I would say that the screen definition, I would say, is clearer on the 705. The 7300, I just think it's a bit more sort of colourful, if that's the right word, a bit more cartoony. The 705 comes across as being a bit more sort of HD looking. It's hard to sort of say it unless you actually see the radio in the flesh. Now when you go to select frequencies, the systems are the same. You just tap the frequency on both radios, and there you go, you can select the frequency. The thing that you don't get on the 7300 is the FM radio airband, of course, 2 meters and 70 centimeters. You don't get that. The thing about with the 7300 is you do get a 4 meters. You have to enter that in, but you do get 4 meters and you get it on transmit. Now, the layout of the screen is the same. The multi knob is in the same position. The filter knob here is the same. Tap it, you get the filter knob. If you hold it in, if you hold on the screen, hold your finger on like that. Same goes for here. Hold your filter on and you'll get the different filters. They've got 3 filters, 1, 2 and 3. The thing what they've done, they've almost chopped with the 705, they've almost chopped the end off. Now the 7300 is a much bigger radio, of course. Sorry about the old bit of leather that's protecting the 7300, but anyway. So if you go at the back here, you can see the PL259, the power, and then you've got the different connectors at the back for amplifiers, CW keys, and different connections. The USB connector on a 7300 is the same as an old printer, sort of square one, where on the 705 you've got the connectors for the CW and the key here on the side, like so. And if I can get to this other one, for FT8 and things like that, you've got a mini USB which also charges the battery, and then you've got your DC input there as well, which obviously you don't get that with the 7300. So the 705 is a portable radio. I mean, they're both fantastic. This is why I've got them both. I know it's they're not the cheapest radio, but I just think they're both brilliant. So the microphone on the 7300, you've got your up and down here, PTT. On the 705, it's a speaker microphone, and you've got some buttons there that can be programmed. So you know, let's have a look what I've got them programmed for. So if I go the up and down, let's just go out of the filter menu. If I remember how to. Right. So if I go up and down, oh, it looks like I haven't got them programmed. There it goes. So there you are. Yeah, I can see what it's doing. It's going up and down the memories, and then look, I've programmed the volume to go up and down as well. But you can change that, and there's a couple of buttons on here that are programmable as well. I think it's there. I'm not going to guess, but it's one of these ones. And the Vox button is programmable. Now they have the speech things. Let's push that.
0145.525 megahertz.
Yeah, yeah. And so is the 7300.
57.125 megahertz. LSB.
Yeah, so they both do that, and they do it well. So filter wise, so we go menu. Now the buttons for the filters on the 7300 are on the front. You've got notch, noise reduction, noise blanker, and you've got the preamp button. On the 705 you have to press function, and then it's all there. Preamp, ADC, notch, noise reduction. Can't see noise blanker probably because we are not in HF, so let's go to HF. Straight to auto LSB, and then if we hit function, yeah, noise blanker. So the radio is like that. They're both like that. That if you're in a certain mode, it will add those menus for you. Now the thing you get extra with the 705 is, let's have a look now. Is if let's just go menu and then go to menu number 2 first. You get all the terminal mode type functions. Let's turn that down. You know, like DV, GW. That's for terminal mode. So's that. And all the D-star functions, you've got DV, memory, CS, CD, and you've got your picture for picture sending. So many menus, even I get lost. You've got your presets for your FT8, which you do get on the 7300. So we go menu, see if I can find that. There you are, you've got presets there. You've got the usual set menu here to go into all the different settings. Let's put the scope on. Menu 1, let's get the scope. They've both got very similar, well, they're the same scopes, but like I said, the screen just seems a bit high definition on the 705. Let's go back now. GPS. So we tap GPS, you've got all your different menus for GPS. Obviously you don't get GPS on the, put that back on. Now I have got a GPS lock, so if I tap it here, sorry about the reflection, but anyway, if I tap it here, at the top, look, you get your GPS info. So when people say, well, you know, why is it so expensive? Well, they've just packed in so much stuff into this radio, and it would take me forever to go through it all. So it's obviously CW, RTTY, it decodes that for you. Let's just quickly look at these menus here. We'll put both the menus on. So on the 705 you've got scope, audio. So the audio scope, they both do that. Let's turn that on. So there's the scope. Now this is just a different setting, that's why you've got this, so you can actually change that. There you go. And it's very nice to use. They've both got that. Now you can have both. Now just remember, if you hold down the M scope, let's do it again. let's try and remember how you do both. There you go, you've got the scope and the audio, and exactly the same for this one. When I remember how to do it, menu, scope. I have done this many times, honestly. Yeah, actually what it is, there's because there's no HF antenna, but this gap would normally be filled with with the scope as well. So you've got dual scope and audio at the same time. So let's have a look at the multi-function knob here. Now I've got it set so it's shortcutted straight to NR, and the way you do that is you just go, let's say you go function and you choose menu 1 and you choose noise reduction. I'll turn it on, but then you hold your finger on it, and then you hold your finger on the level which you can adjust with the multi knob. Then you can adjust it. See that? You can now adjust multi-level with that, and same goes for here for this one as well. So let's do that. So we go menu, function, hold our finger, hold finger on there, and then again. And you can do that pretty much with all the menus that are in function. So it's quite good. And to get out of it, you just tap here, look, and then it will revert you back to using its normal function. Speaker-wise, again, to be honest with you, when I listen to them both, and it's hard to say it when there's no antenna on both, but I actually think the speaker to me sounds a touch better on the 705. Not the speaker microphone, but the speaker. It's a and how have they done that? So, but the 7300 is still a fantastic radio. Now they both have an SD card for backing up and for firmware, but on the 705, I'm not going to move it again, but it's on the side here. It's a micro SD card. So let's just get this 705 into DR mode. So you hold down the call button here. I'm now in DR mode. So that's now going to pick up all my hotspots and that I've programmed into the memories, but also all the repeaters in the latest CSV file, which you can download from, if I remember right, it's called dstar.org. Anyway, so there's a separate, and that again is done by the SD card. Now I've used this on FT8, and it just works brilliant. And like I said, you've got the FT8 presets. So just look at there goes my. So if you saw that, the open spot has just received something on. I think we're on Reflect the 30, and look, there's their GPS coordinates. This is what you're paying for. So you've got your RET. Let's go back into HF. Got your receive RIT, XIT, so receive and transmit. That will give you that XFC. I'm pretty sure that gives you the input. The M-pad's really good. You know, they both radios have M-pad, where you just push it. You can select your M-pad, or you can hold your finger down. It saves it to your memory pad, which is in again the main menu. They've both got memory pad. They've both got memories. They've both got this quite funky way of sort of built-in SWR, where you can sort of key the mic. I'm not going to do it because they're on top of each other. Got told off for that already. So SWR, they both have record functions. They both can record, and there's some quite nifty CW function. This way you can type in the CW, and I don't want to try and remember it now, but you can type in the CW, push play, and it will play what you've typed. So you don't even have to know CW. Now it doesn't decode CW. I know that the 7300 has CW practice. I'm not sure about if the 705 does. So there you go. And then the preamp wise, you've got preamp button here, 1, 2, and off. On the 705, it's preamp, go to menu, push function, and then you've got preamp, and it works well. Receive wise, they both seem identical to me. I can't really tell the difference when I go to the receive of these radios. They seem both seem just as sensitive to me. Let's get the scope back on. Now I have got a HF antenna on the 7300, but the conditions aren't great, so it wasn't really worth connecting it, was it? But when they've got a good signal coming in, both these radios work really well on HF. So, you know, just to summarize, you know, why get the 705? Well, get the 705 if you're enjoying, well, it's just a hard one to say. I mean, the 705 in your shack, sat next to your other equipment, you're going to love it, even on 10 watts, because most of the time we are just listening. The fact that it's 5 or 10 watts is, all that does is make you think, oh, I need to sort out my antenna, I need to have a better antenna setup, you know, an efficient antenna setup. That's all that does. With the 7300, if anything, because you've got the 100 watts there, it makes you cheat. You think, oh, I'll just turn on the tuner, or I'll just connect my tuner, and then I'll, you know, the antenna's okay, I'll just tune it. So it can make, well, it made me a bit lazy with my antenna setup. And yeah, I suppose you could take the 7300 portable quite easy. It's you know, it's a lot smaller than many HF radios, but not in the same way as you can with the 705. It's just very light, versatile. You know, there's lots of tuners that work on it. I've got an LDG, I think it's a 100 Pro, but you know, they've got these small dedicated ones, and they've brought out the 705 tuner made by ICOM. The MAT 705 Plus, to me, it looks like a really nice tuner. I just don't need it. I find that if I use a dedicated wire, like a long wire or a G5RV, it just doesn't need tuning. It stays within the parameters. So, okay, well, I just finalised. Just saying, they're both fantastic radios. You have to choose the one that's right for you. For me, the 705 is the best radio I have ever used, ever bought. Yeah, for me personally. And I can't, you know, I'm so glad they came up with this. The fact that I can use HF, go straight into DR mode, and I've got all these funky functions. You know, I forgot to mention the fact that we've got Wi-Fi. You know, we've actually got Wi-Fi here, if I can quickly find it. Wireless LAN, look, which is off. Just turn it on. Well, it won't let me turn it on at the moment. But anyway, you get the idea. It's got wireless LAN. And what? Oh, it's probably because we're in DR mode, maybe. Oh, there it is. There, it's coming on now. Wireless LAN. Quite a weak signal from up here. They've both got SD cards. This has got access. You've got access mode, which basically turns the radio can actually be like things can connect wirelessly to this radio. Now, what you then do with that connection, I'm sure there's lots of experimentation going out there. Oh, I forgot to say, just the microphone has two connectors on the 705. So you unplug it, it uses the speaker on the radio. Plug it in, it uses the speaker mic, and that works very well. It's a bit tinny, but it still works well. And yeah, just look, you've got these little mini auto tunes. So, right, stop waffling. So, in summary, they are both fantastic radios. You have to decide if you either want one of them or both of them, or none of them, and go for a 991A. But I had the 991A, and the experience I'm getting from the ICOM radios is far superior, and ICOM deserve an award for both of these radios. And the 7300 has been around a few years, and I'm sure there's going to be some interesting developments with the 705. So I hope you enjoy this video. 7.3 and all the best.